What's up, everybody? I got a question for you. Have you ever went camping and got caught in a thunderstorm? Have you ever done it deliberately? I mean, just deliberately go out and camp in a thunderstorm, a snowstorm, a heat wave, an ice storm, whatever. You know what I mean, whatever. Yeah, well, if you've been watching the channel a while, you know I've camped in single digits. I think I think 8 or so. 4. I think 4 was my lowest, and triple digits too, and snowstorms and all kinds of crazy stuff. Well, we're expecting a thunderstorm tonight, and well, you get where I'm going, right? Anyway, some of you may remember last year we bought this old camper here. It's what is it, a 1998, I think it is. And it's in good shape. Everything worked in it, frame in good shape, and I've been remodeling and retrofitting it and modernizing it and all that kind of stuff. I got a good deal on it. It was really cheap. You know, I had to go to Ohio to get it, but that's the brakes, right? Anyway, I've been doing some remodeling on it. Thought I'd, show y'all a little bit about it. Got a new toy, really nice new toy that I want to show you guys. And so I'm going to hang out in the camper tonight in this thunderstorm, watch some TV. Heather's got some beef stew on in the house in the crock pot. So yeah, I'll be having some homemade beef stew for dinner and kind of hanging out in here. We're expecting some heavy winds, 20 sustained, 15, 20 mile an hour winds sustained. They are saying gusts of 40 to 50 miles an hour. So I don't know. But yeah, we should be okay with a question mark. I hear rain starting. I hear it starting. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not, but it's getting ready to get going. Get the rest of my stuff out here before the rain gets started for real, and settle in for the night, and we'll see what happens when the wind gets this puppy rocking. We'll see what happens. Anyway, we'll see y'all in a few. Well, guys, the storm is getting closer by the minute. I'm not sure how well y'all can kind of see, I guess. It should be here soon. It's getting a little bit louder too. I can hear it. I can hear it out there. Anyhow, one of the things I'm doing tonight, we've got a new toy that I wanted to show you guys. Heather got me a couple other little things too. Got me a little ceiling fan. Check it out. Heather got me that. Anyhow, I got my heat right here for later. Got my TV there. Look over my mess now. There's leaves and junk. I'm still working on it. I converted all of this. This raises up. Let that slide. I converted all of that into being, a storage area or a little kennel for our puppy dogs, and they have a little door. I don't know how well y'all can see that, where they can go outside, little door right down here, and have their own little doggy door. And you could open this one here and either let them in or whatever. But I'm going to use it as a power station. I'm going to have basically an entire little substation inside this little area right here. Now look over, I've got a couple little patches right here. Try to look over those. They don't show it all from the outside, and as far as I can tell, this doesn't leak at all. I haven't found any drips so far, but I haven't been out in it in a legit storm before. Deliberately, let's see what it can do, let's find out, right? But anyhow, I've got this right here. I mentioned it. We had a company recently contact us, and we'll get emails from time to time about, you know, various new products, stuff like that, new things on the market. And this is something that I thought you guys might really like. You might really get a kick out of. ATV outside, sorry. Thought y'all might like this. Now, I'm not 100%. This is the only thing I'm not sure about on this is the pronunciation of the name. It's AFERIY. It's either AFERY or AFERY. That I'm not 100% sure, though. We'll leave that one alone. I looked to see online, and there were other people talking about it, and they said it different ways. So, I don't know. But anyway, y'all seen me taking the junk I take when I go camping. If you've been watching the channel for a minute, you know I take batteries, inverter. There's an adapter that I use in here, in a 12 volt, you know, adapter to switch over for extra USB ports. There's also 2 bags, Ziploc bags of adapters in my backpack that I take with me when I go camping. This replaces all of that and a whole bunch more, a lot more. It's also an uninterruptible backup power supply that, you know, you can, you know, have your whatever, your computer system, you know, plugged into it, and the power goes out. This kicks in 10 nanoseconds and takes over. Now, I've seen and own, you know, a couple smaller ones like this, right? They mentioned some of their stuff, okay, some of their features. We'll say there's a difference between features and benefits. Features is things it does. A benefit is what's it do for me. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. When they started listing this, that there was so many of them that they actually put etc. Okay. ETC. They actually put etc. The output ports, for example, Type A, USB, Type C, you know, blah 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 blah, cigarette lighter output, etc. All right. This thing is really cool. It really is. It's it's modern LiFePO 4 batteries, and if you guys remember, 2,048 watt hours, by the way, total. So that's double what my batteries are. This is 2 of my batteries. Wattages up to 100 watts. Okay, so it's quite a bit of power. And of course, it's got a light, and you've got 6 plugs over here. There's 6 of them. With my 2,000 watt inverter, this is a 2,400 watt inverter, by the way. This is actually has more output than mine. So it's, you know, better than both my batteries. You know, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking my other batteries. They're my kids too, and I love them all the same. Okay, I love all of my kids equally. This is just the newest. This is the baby. But I wanted to show you a couple things, you know, the benefits, right? Look here. You want to see something really cool? Let me get the Bluetooth connected. All right. Now, you've got, all right, obviously, you know, battery status, all this kind of stuff. I've got it plugged into the cable right now. I'll be unhooking it in a few minutes, and that will be just for, you know, a little heater if I need it. Probably won't even need it. It's going to be like 60 tonight. It's warm in here now. But what I wanted to show you, look down here. I don't know if you guys, you've got these are the ports and what they're doing, and switches. I don't know if y'all catch that or not. What that means, watch here. You see? All right. Okay. That means you can work your stuff with your cell phone. You can have, say, your lights, or, you know, whatever you wanted to use, you know, and you can operate it with your cell phone. Now, how cool is that? You know, your exterior lights, or, you know, your whatever, you know, and you can turn things on and off with your cell phone. Now that is nice. That is really cool. But I'm gonna leave this running tonight, and for the rest of the night I'll have, that's what, a 100-watt bulb. So it's, well, LED. It's pulling 10 watts right now. So I'll have that, and, you know, the big screen, and he pulls about 40 watts. So we'll have that in there, and of course I'll be doing some other stuff, you know, playing with the 12 volt, and I got some toys. You know, it's, you're going to be in the camper in the thunderstorm. I brought some toys. All right, I got some toys in the backpack, and I've got, you know, more toys in the house too. You know, I can go get more toys anytime I want them. So that's cool. That's one good thing about camping in your front yard. You have access to all of your toys. If you get bored, you go play with something else. But anyway, I think I really like this, and I did a little bit of comparison. All right, I just, you know, before I get into any of the, you know, whatever details a little bit later, from as near as I can tell, to find this same setup, the, you know, the 2000 with the 2400 watt, you know, the inverter plus all this other stuff built in, near as I can tell, is right at $1,500. This is right about half that. This is about half of what I can find in comparable products with a different name that I might be more sure about, AFERY or AFERY. That's the only difference that I can find here. I cannot find anything at all that I don't like about this. It has everything that I could possibly want. There's, you know, we'll do a little bit of the specs later. I don't want to bore y'all to death. Like I said, benefits, not, you know what I mean? What's it do for me? Don't tell me how the thing works. Tell me what it does for me. Okay? But you've got a little port right there to put stuff. USB right here. This is more or less circuit breaker, reset, overload. This is your main power in if you want to charge by power. This is solar right here. And I'm going to be using, that's something for another day, the big box over here. That's something someone else sent me. I'm doing a solar panel install on this puppy real soon too. So yeah. But there's the solar panel in. That's how you connect it and charge everything. Like I said, you've got 12 volt right here. And what I like about it, they're all individual. You can turn each one on individually. I just turned, you'll see it mentioned it over here too, that the DC out just turned on. Or you can USB, and you know, it shows the little indicator. It's very simple to use. It may look complicated, but it's not. An input, output, 60 hertz, which is pure sine wave, by the way, just in case anybody doesn't know. Anything other than 60 hertz can theoretically, they say, do damage to certain electronics, but 60 hertz is considered conditioned electrical. It's what your house, the current going to your house. Okay, it's pure sine wave. Anyway, long story. It's oscilloscopes and, you know, irrelevant. Anyway, there's the Bluetooth right there, and it has the little indicators right here to show you which one you've got turned on. There's your battery level, how long you've got, you know, how long you've got left using the things that you have on right now. The light is incredibly bright. I was surprised. You know, that may or may not come in handy. We shall see. Oh, the SOS, huh? But what I like about it, like I said, my other one, as far as the 110, you had 2 plugs on my inverter, and it's 2,000 watts. This is 2,400 watts and has 6 plugs instead of 2. So you can run all kinds of stuff. This should be able to do all of the things that I take all of my other junk, the batteries and inverters, and you get where I'm going, guys. A whole lot of stuff, a whole lot of bulk a whole lot more weight than 55 pounds, literally. And this is so much easier, and I'm sure this puppy will come in very handy on the channel, and I'm sure you guys will be seeing this thing get a lot of use. You know, I'm going to use it, like I said, in here. I'm going to have this puppy in here, and like I said, that's a big nice solar panel for it right there for the top of the camper. I'll be doing an install on that at a later date. But so far, all right. How are we doing on the storm? If I remember how to work my phone. Let me go back to radar. And it looks like it. It's approaching, ain't it? It's definitely getting here. Hopefully. How weird is that? But anyway, alright. I'll have, when I come back, I will have this moved over into place. I just went over here so I could show it to you, kind of show you around. The back it's a label on the back. It's just a technical specs, that sort of thing, which I guess, there goes the ATV. He'll probably be back down in a second. So probably should mention some of the technical specs, I suppose. The model AFP 210, 2048 watt hours, no doubt. Now check this charge rate out, 1100 watts charging rate. That is really fast. I think my other ones are about 800. The input, also something else too, I noticed the solar panels, anywhere from 0 to 50 watt solar panels will, excuse me, amp will work just fine with this. That is nice. I like it. Carport, you can charge it in your car. Off-grid mode. I love that. Don't even know what that is yet. I'm sure I'm going to love it, though. Whatever it is. Alright, let's get everything hooked up and move on from here and quit running my mouth about the thing, which I do really like it. I really do. Alright, let's get everything moved and hooked up and get everything into place and get ready to watch some movies and junk while the storm rages. Not bad, huh? Don't look too shabby. Not too shabby at all. I've got it all set up over there, and just for the record, just to keep track, it is 4:30, and I just unplugged the main power going into the power bank, and it is standing on its own two legs from here on out. Right now I've got this TV, that lamp, and that light bulb up there. 2 light bulbs and a TV. And so we'll see for the rest of the night. You know, I'll be doing, you know, doing normal things, you know, try to, you know, hang out, have a little TV on, that sort of thing. Doing some other things too, you know, working on it when it's not when it ain't raining, and it hasn't really rained much yet, just a little bit here and there. But the main thing won't cross till tonight anyway. But like I said, I've got everything hooked up. Be using that one intermittently, and I'll go ahead and just leave the lamp and the TV on, let them, you know what I mean, watch TV and all that good junk. And yeah, have a nice little evening and have some beef stew a little bit later and do some relaxing. Sounds like a nice evening. Sounds like a really good way to test something, huh? If you're going to test something, test it. All right. See y'all a little while. Not too bad. Looks halfway decent, don't it? For as old as it is, I've got my everything set up over here. My everything. Got the TV. Got a little power station hooked up. I've got everything in here hooked up on it except for the heater. I've got it on a cord. Everything else, TV, lamp, let's see, got all my batteries charged there. Got my phone charged to 100% here. It's 6:49, and we've been running continuously, non-stop. It says it's got 18 hours left at these settings. 18 hours left. So anyway, I thought, since I was, running a little test and just, relaxing, enjoying anyway, Heather made some beef and potatoes. So I got me a big bowl, well, little bowl. There's plenty more in the house. That's the good thing about camping in your yard, ain't it? You can go back in the house and get another bowl in a minute. Look at that. This comes right apart with a spoon. Look at that. Looks very good. Got me some crackers. Oh, hang on. There we go. Get my ceiling fan going. Turn the little light on too. Just, ambiance, Alright. Alright, got me some coffee, crackers, got my remote phone. I can chat back and forth with Heather. She's only like 30 feet away, but we can still chat. Alright. 30 feet away. Alright. That's a little more cozy. That looks pretty decent, don't it? Oh. My soup was hot, so I brought a soup cooler. Yeah, Leo's cheating just a little bit. He threw something else into the mix. You gotta cheat a little bit, don't you? That's cool, look at that. Well, so far I'm sitting at 77%. 10 o'clock. Been running the TV consistently since 4:30. Hasn't been turned off. And the lamp as well. Charged up GoPro batteries. Charged up the phone. Cheated a little bit. Played with the fan for a minute. Just goofing off. Not really. Trying to give it a good run for its money. And, hang out, have some fun. So I got power right over there, but it's just for the heater. Just the heater. Yeah, I got me some bed snacks, we call it. I usually, everybody probably watches, me climbing all these mountains, probably thinks I eat really healthy. Nah, I eat like a roach. Look at that. Cookies. There's some cookies. There's a couple cakes, some pudding, some chips, and I do have a sandwich, ham sandwich. So, bed snacks. Yeah, I do this pretty much every night. Eat like an ant. Alright, get back to my movie. See y'all in a little while. Getting there, isn't it? 10 o'clock. I wasn't out here the whole time. I was in the house for a little while. After dinner, I went in, but I left the movie on, paused, and I had paused the movie and went in. Made sure to leave everything on. So, doing really, really well. I mean, that's consistent, pretty heavy drain. It's doing really well. Alright, we'll have some snacks and watch the rest of my movie. See y'all in a little while. Good morning. Well, it appears as though I didn't die last night. There weren't a whole lot of bears in here or anything like that. They're not like there was a whole lot of, wildlife and things of that nature to avoid this trip. I did have one minor little problem last night. I put the table back in the stowaway position on those little poles, little rod things right there that holds it. And, I was going to lay here and watch TV, just kind of chill on this. And let me get back here a little bit, see what I'm talking about. That, the legs fold up, it goes down on those little things, cushions goes on it for moving it, for transport. Anyway, a little bit after 4, something like that, realized, hey, everything's still on, right? Use my phone, turn that off. Power's still on. You hit the power button right there, kill the power. Of course, it, should be fine as is, but it's a little light, you know what I mean? So I go to lean over to push the button to turn it off, and that's when my little friend right there decides he wants to snap. And right over top of the thermostat, too. So anyway, I had to put that back at 4 o'clock in the morning and move my bed back over there where I'm supposed to be, like a big kid or something. Can't sleep in front of the TV. But it did really well. It's still got, 50%, 49. And that's after running the TV consistently, and that's about 40 watts. That's another 10. Plus, charging GoPro batteries, phone, just playing with the little fan. Yeah, it did really good. I mean, I threw everything at it but the kitchen sink, literally, and it's still got half of a charge. Yes, that's pretty much covers my little test today, and my little excuse for, setting up the camper and hanging out in the yard. Of course, technically, I guess I was, already working on the camper, but, we won't mention that part, right? All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I hope y'all, had a little bit of fun hanging out and, seeing a new toy or two. I guess we count the ceiling fan as a new toy, too. Although he don't have much on this puppy, does he? I like it. I like it a lot. All right. I can see me having a whole lot of fun with that in the future, for sure. All right. We'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good one, and we will see y'all on the next trip. And hopefully, we won't be in my yard next time. We'll be back somewhere on a mountain or on a riverbank or somewhere very secluded, somewhere interesting. You know what I mean? All right, we'll see y'all a little bit later. Y'all have a good day, and thanks for hanging out. Keep me company. We'll see you guys a little bit later. Y'all have a good one. Leo out.